Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.
Hi! We're the 6th grade class from Hilfiker Elementary, home of Gibsonburg Golden Bears. Welcome to News 6.
Hi, I'm Allison Balda from Hilfiker Elementary School. Welcome to News 6. With today's first story, here's Scott Shade.
For our first story, today, News 6 visited the Helly family where we learned about the daily routine of dairy farming. Here's Mark Posler with the story.
Thanks, Scott. I'm Mark Posler, and I'm here with Karen Helly, a dairy farmer. Can you tell us how you got started in this business?
I married a farmer that was in the business, and so that's how I got into it.
All cows don't produce milk. What makes dairy cows different from other cows?
There are beef cows that are raised for beef, and dairy are raised to produce milk. And that's what we have on this farm.
How many times a day are the cows milked?
We milk twice a day, in the morning and in the evening.
How long does it take to milk one cow, Karen?
On an average, about 5 minutes.
How much milk does a single cow produce a day?
A day, about 70 to 75 pounds a day.
What do your dairy cows eat?
They eat a mixture of corn and that we grind here on the farm, and we mix supplement into it that has all the vitamins and minerals that they need.
What happens to the milk once it leaves your farm?
It goes to Fremont, to Sunshine Biscuit, and it's made into cheese.
Can you describe a typical work day, Karen?
So we get up about 5:30 and we come out and we milk the cows. It takes feeding, and we have steers and calves that need to be taken care of too. And then in summer, of course, there's always hay to make or crops to harvest, and in the winter it's mostly just milking.
Is it tough being a dairy farmer?
Yes, it's tough being in this kind of business because of the economy.
Thanks for letting us come, Karen. It's been very interesting at this dairy farm.
I'm glad you came, and I hope you learned a lot.
Back to WBGU!
Woo!
Today's News 6 is produced by the 6th grade class of Hilfiker Elementary School. Hilfiker is located in Gibsonburg, which is 35 miles southeast of Toledo, Ohio, and has a population of about 2,500.
Illiteracy is a problem facing many Americans. Betty Nolan spoke with one man who decided to overcome this problem when he was 53, teaching us that it is never too late to learn to read.
Thanks, Brian. I am Betty Nolan here with Jack Sparks, age 56, and had just finished his first reading program. What was the name of the reading program, and what did you learn from it?
The project was Project Read by a guy by the name of Dr. Laubach was the one that started this program out. And I think he taught that in something like 300 different languages. So he's been all over the world with this program.
Why did you want to learn how to read, Jack?
The main reason what caused me to want to read was my grandchildren. I used to read to them. They used to get on my lap and want me to read, and then eventually they would get up there, and one of them finally said to me, "Papa, that isn't what that says." So I thought I'd better learn to read so I could read without them telling me about it. Reading is very important to someone like me that never learned to read, for the simple reason I couldn't read what was happening around me. I had to take someone else's word for it. Now I can read what a paper says instead of asking someone.
How did you feel as a child not knowing how to read?
Down there where I went to school, we was in a one-room schoolhouse with 8 grades, and we had a lot of problems with the teachers getting drunk and the kids trying to teach a class. and you didn't have anyone to really help you if you needed help. So I just got disgusted and just gave it all up.
How do you feel about yourself now?
I feel pretty proud of going through this program and learning how to read, because this is a very good program for anyone. I don't care for 10 or 60.
What is your advice to those who can't read?
I would advise them to get in contact with any vocational school that has a reading project like this one I went through, or one similar to it, and try to learn to read. Anyone can learn to read if they just take the time to go and try.
Thanks for coming and sharing and reading the book, and good luck in the future.
You're very welcome.
And back to you, WBGU.
Last week, the United States celebrated the inauguration of a new president. Today's Kids View question asks the 6th graders at Hilfiker Elementary School what they would ask President Clinton if given the opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ashley Warren, and today's Kids View question is, if you could ask one thing to President Clinton, what would it be?
If I could ask President Clinton one thing, it'd be, when did you decide to run for office? If I could ask President Clinton one question, I would ask him, what are you planning on changing?
If I could ask President Clinton one question, it would be, why did you plan on running for office?
If I could ask President Clinton one question, I would ask him how well he likes his daughter's cat.
For our last story today, News 6 spoke with Rick Marlowe, who taught us a little about the craft of making and repairing saddles. Here's Jennifer Gentry with the story.
Thanks, Andy. Hi, I'm Jennifer Gentry, here with Rick Marlowe, who is a saddle maker. Rick, tell us how you got interested in making saddles.
Well, about 5 years ago when we moved out here to Gibsonburg and started getting horses, I noticed a need for saddles and repairs. So that started me off in making saddles.
Rick, how did you learn how to design saddles?
Once I started making my own, I just started taking patterns off of other saddles. And then I started coming up with my own designs, mainly from watching other people and looking at other saddles.
Rick, what is tooling?
Tooling is a process on leather that when you take a piece of regular leather and draw a design on it and take it from a started project to a finished project, going with all of your tools and your carving instruments.
It must be difficult to make saddles. How long does it take to make one?
Most riding saddles usually take about 80 to 100 hours a piece. A good show saddle with all the silver and all the ornaments and everything on it and all the special designs can go up to 150, 200 hours per saddle.
Rick, is your profession a dying one?
The profession of saddle making right now is actually coming back. Most people want a handmade saddle rather than a saddle that's being mass produced.
Thanks for coming, Rick. We really learned something, didn't we?
Yeah! I'd like to thank you all for having me over here.
Back to WBGU.
Thank you for joining us today. Tune in next week when Gateway Middle School visits News 6. Have a great day.
Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU TV.